How are we doing, folks? Welcome back to the Nightmare Cabin. I hope you all had a good Christmas. Wish you all a happy New Year. I hope you all had a good break. And we're back now with the first album review of the year. And this is the new Sculpture from Obituary. This is Dying of Everything. And I've been listening to this evil sounding bastard all day. I listened to it for the first time the other night. I was waiting for my copy to turn up in the post, but the Relapse Records YouTube channel stuck it up as a stream, so I had a listen while I was at work. I guess I'll get this small peeve out of the way. I really like this artwork, but it just doesn't feel right on an Obituary album cover. Does anyone else think that? You got your typical Relapse template on the back there. I mean, let's go through. If we just go through some albums here, you know, you got the last album's the classic, no nonsense band logo there, but you know. Oh, there's the live albums that they did. Just trying to think if there's any other good ones. I had one in particular in mind, but yeah, you know. I've actually got this one on as a t-shirt. You know, it just doesn't seem to fit with the rest, you know, but seriously, that is as bad as it gets, folks, because this album is awesome. Let me just put all these back. Yeah, ever so small peeve aside. And it's not as if the artwork's bad. And there's a little dedication to the artist in the... I'm not going to pronounce his name either, because... let's try it. Mariusz Lewandowski, I think that is. Yeah, apparently he died last year. So, yeah, sorry to... again, fantastic artist, and that's really good artwork. But I don't know, it just feels a bit out of place as an Obituary album cover. I'm guessing this is the guy that did the Bell Witch, you know, that famous album by Bell Witch. So, yeah, it has that kind of vibe to it, doesn't it? Some doomy, stonery, psychedelic-y kind of album, not like a sludgy Florida death metal. But anyway, let's get into the music. So, I mean, Obituary are one of those bands that you just need, especially at this point in their career, you just need Obituary to be Obituary, don't you? So, it's a pretty no-nonsense Obituary doing what they do, but in the best possible way. I think their last album, which was self-titled, I really enjoyed that album. And I can't believe it's been nearly 5 years. I was just looking it up here. 2017. And I know obviously everything that's been going on has been the main contributor to that, I would have guessed. They're the band that really sort of took hold of the live streaming thing, like streaming a concert. They did like 3 nights to begin with, and then they did a 2-night thing. You know, they've ended up playing their first 3 albums in full. But yeah, we start off. I mean, how long is the album as well? It's a very... There's no nonsense on this album at all. They get straight in. They get straight on with it. 44 minutes. I thought it would be quicker than that, actually. But yeah, like I say, they get on with it, unlike me. Barely Alive, we hit the ground running. This is actually quite a fast, aggressive song for Obituary standards. They kind of settled into the whole slower-paced groove thing on the last couple of albums, and they kind of had this sort of summer vibe to them. It was even like almost like a southern rock, southern death metal, shall we say. Not on this one. This album is dark. It's really gritty, really nice, really, really cool. But yeah, Barely Alive is quite a fast one for their standards at the moment. Quite blast beaty in ways. But yeah, hits the ground running, sets the album off nicely. The Wrong Time, second track, kind of starts off with a demonic take on Baywatch's. It kind of starts with a. And then boom, kicks in nicely. But yeah, really cool song. War. Well, no, before that we got Without Conscience. Real good rhythm, real good sort of groove to it. This is the sort of that bouncy rhythm that they settle into with a sort of repetitive lyric over. Something about free speech, which I thought was quite cool for. They're not normally a political band, or not in the. They went for a bit of an environmental phase, didn't they? But yeah. Without the price of free speech ratings, I'll put an end to you. And you can imagine John. You know, over and over again with that right nice groove kicking in. That's one of the more catchier songs, actually. Yeah, it's one of the ones that sticks out on the first initial couple of listens. War, though, that is the epic. That is a fucking awesome song. Nice, slow and dirgy in places, but nice and fast in others. It's got like machine guns going off in the background and stuff like that. There's a real cool bit as well where it kind of breaks for a second, and then you just got an acoustic guitar playing this riff, and then bang, kicks in again in that riff with the main sound on. Subtle little touch, but it just works awesomely. My Will to Live is a more slower, sort of paced Punisher, and By the Dawn is a real evil sounding intro, but then sort of builds up into this pummeling rhythm. It goes without saying, all the way through there's some blistering solos on this, and you got Terry Butler, who's a veteran anyway, obviously Death and Massacre and all the rest of it. 6 Feet Under. This is his third album with the band, and it's also the third release with semi-new guitarist. Is it Kenny Andrews? I want to say his name is. Let me just quickly. Yes, it is Kenny Andrews. So you got Terry Butler on bass, Kenny Andrews on guitar. They're the new guys, so to speak, but this is their third album with the band now, and both have more than settled into their roles. So I think they're part of the furniture now. Obviously, you got your three main, Donald and John Tardy, drums and vocals, and Trevor Perez on guitar. That's the three main core members. But yeah, I think this is really everything you want is there. It's nice and swampy. I think Trevor's such an underrated drummer as well, because he's not sitting there trying to be technical and all over the kit and machine gun and that's not his. He's a groove drummer, and some of the patterns he's coming out with on this is fucking awesome. John's obviously, there is no vocalist that sounds like John, and John sounds like no one else. It's got that. It's just got that signature Obituary feel. It's it's an Obituary album, which is exactly what you want from the band. Big riffs, big grooves, big hooks, nice dirty doomy sections, some blistering solos on this as well. It's quite melodic as well in places, as far as the solos goes. And the closing track, Be Warned. Oh, it sounds evil. Really, really dark. Really sort of evil sounding. And real slow and doomy at the beginning as well. And like John's doing like some effects on his voice. And it sounds like the horror element of death metal has been brought back into them, and they're taking it seriously. Like you can, forget about the beer and the flip flops and the barbecues and the cat rescues and all that. You can really sort of switch off and picture some horror show during that Be Warned track. But yeah, part of an ongoing sort of, I think they hit a second on Inked and Bloods, and then Obituary, the last album. They put out a fantastic live album as well between now and then, 10,000 Ways to Die. That had 2 new tracks on it. And now this, like many a band of their age, really. But yeah, they've hit a second golden period, I think, and this just continues it. And this is just a great addition to a pretty pretty solid, really, back catalogue. And yeah, what a way to kick off the year. I'm going to give this a good 8 out of 10, and that's just on listening to it half a dozen times since it's come out. But yeah, this is the standard to be measuring stuff by. Some things in life are reliable, and you need them to be reliable, and now more than ever, that's what you need. So, a new album from Obituary, I think we could all benefit from. So yeah, I'm really happy with this. I forgot it was coming out, so it was a nice little surprise when it did come up. And yeah, really enjoying it. Awesome addition to a awesome back catalogue. And yeah, really happy with this. So I'm currently listening to the new Ahab album as well. I'm just waiting for my copy to turn up in the post. So I'm going to be listening to that online, and then I can show it off when it turns up, and I'll do a review then. I've got Dave Martell from the Biz Archives coming on. We're going to be doing the retrospective. We're going to be doing a whole back catalogue of Nevermore. Hopefully that'll be next weekend-ish. And then I'm kind of let it go after Christmas, but I'm going to get Carl from Kill Division, ex-Malevolent Creation. I'm going to be chasing that up as well. I'm going to get him on. And I'll be reviewing albums as they come throughout the year. I'm going to be doing part 2 of Overkill as well. That's long been abandoned, but not anymore. I'll be doing part 2 and part 3 of that this year. And whatever retrospective I feel like doing as and when. There's plenty of them. I'm thinking of doing some film reviews as well this year. So let me know what you think of that. And yeah, are you enjoying this? What are you looking forward to this year? Let me know in the comments. And Happy New Year to you all. Thanks for watching. See you all soon. Take care.